When Meghan Markle posted that video, the internet practically froze. Imagine her lounging barefoot in the back of a sleek black limo, cruising through Paris with the Eiffel Tower glittering in the distance. She looked radiant and carefree, smiling into the camera like someone living her best life. But then, someone checked the location data, and chaos erupted. That car was barely a mile from the Pont tunnel, the tragic site where Princess Diana died after being chased by paparazzi. For Prince Harry, that place holds decades of pain. Yet, Meghan appeared there, posing, glowing, and seemingly unaware. Within minutes, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything exploded. Even loyal supporters were stunned. How could she, of all people, film herself near the very spot tied to Diana's death? A woman who's constantly compared herself to Diana was now being accused of insensitivity and hypocrisy. The backlash was swift, fierce, and unforgiving, but what unfolded in private was even more explosive. Insiders say what happened next was far uglier. Harry reportedly erupted the moment he saw the video. Witnesses described him going pale, hands trembling, his voice breaking as the weight of old wounds came crashing back. For a man who grew up haunted by his mother's death, watching Meghan smiling just steps from that tunnel was unbearable. He demanded answers, asking how she could ignore what that place symbolized. It wasn't just about a clip online. It was the trauma, the memories, the night that changed everything for him. Behind the walls of their Montecito home, the argument reportedly turned explosive. Voices rose, doors slammed, and Harry shouted like he hadn't in years, asking the same painful question: how could the woman he gave up everything for be so careless? But Meghan, sources claim, didn't back down. She accused him of letting his trauma control their lives, insisting she had every right to share what she wanted. To her, it was just an innocent moment, blown out of proportion by critics. But to him, it cut deeper than words.
But Harry wasn't listening anymore. For him, this had nothing to do with headlines or public outrage. It was about respect. Some places are sacred, he told her, a line that reportedly echoed through the house. The tunnel where his mother died wasn't just a spot on a map. It was hallowed ground, and Meghan had turned it into content. She shot back that he was still chained to the royal family's narrative, letting them control his emotions from an ocean away. Those words, insiders say, shattered him. What followed was their fiercest fight yet. Hours of shouting, silence, and slammed doors. By nightfall, Harry moved into the guest house, refusing to share a bed with her. And for the first time, people close to them say he began questioning everything. To grasp why this cut so deep, you have to understand that tunnel's weight in his life. The Pont tunnel is where, at just 12, he learned his mother had died while being chased by photographers. For years, he's spoken of the nightmares, the guilt, and the rage, how those flashing bulbs stole the only person who made him feel safe. He even walked through that tunnel himself years later, trying to understand her last moments. It nearly broke him. Ever since, he's fought to protect his life from the same relentless press that destroyed hers.
Harry had spent years fighting to shield his family from the press, taking tabloids to court, giving interviews, doing everything to make sure Meghan never endured what his mother did. So seeing her post a glamorous video from the exact place that shattered his childhood felt like more than insensitivity. It felt like betrayal. Royal experts called it cruel irony. Meghan had spent years tying herself to Diana's legacy, wearing her jewelry, visiting her charities, recreating her iconic interview settings. But when it came to the one place that should have been sacred, she didn't hesitate. Critics have long claimed she embraces Diana's image when it benefits her, but switches off empathy when it's inconvenient. Even her Oprah interview, where she wore Diana's bracelet, was seen by some as strategy, not sentiment. And this Paris stunt pushed even her supporters to their limits. Fan pages went quiet, commentators who once defended her said she'd gone too far, and the public made its stance clear. You can't call yourself Diana 2.0 and disrespect the ground where she died. Insiders say even Hollywood friends were stunned, but stayed silent publicly.
Behind the curtain, her PR team reportedly spiraled into crisis mode. Emergency meetings, frantic calls, sleepless nights, trying to control the damage. The Paris trip had been designed as a glossy rebrand, shifting Meghan's image from royal exile to high fashion influencer, with luxury boutiques, Michelin-star dining, and glittering events. But one unchecked GPS pin turned a glamorous statement into a public relations disaster.
That limousine didn't just glide through Paris. It rolled right past the tunnel tied to Diana's final moments, and the internet caught it instantly. PR experts called it a monumental failure, the kind any smart strategist should have flagged. But Meghan's team, insiders claim, was so fixated on curating her perfect image that they missed the emotional minefield completely. Harry, however, bore the fallout. Friends say something in him shifted after that night. He stopped defending her in public, stopped covering for her decisions. It was like a switch flipped. Then came the PR panic, because without Harry's voice, her team knew they were cornered. They reportedly pushed him to speak out, to label the backlash unfair. But for the first time, he flatly refused. His silence was louder than any statement. Royal watchers noticed it immediately. It signaled that Harry was no longer shielding her from the consequences of her choices. Insiders say this wasn't just another scandal, it was a turning point. Alone in the guest house, Harry has been restless, replaying everything, the sacrifices he made, walking away from his home, his titles, his family, all for love. And now he's left questioning whether Meghan ever truly understood him, or why that stretch of Paris still shakes him to his core. Or was she just chasing the perfect image for her brand? Insiders say Harry started asking the kind of questions that keep a person up at night. Did he mistake shared pain for love? Fall for someone chasing fame instead of peace? And would his mother have ever approved? While he wrestled with doubts, Meghan reportedly buried herself in work. Brand meetings, shoots, strategy, acting as if nothing was unraveling. But behind that calm, sources claim she was furious, blaming Harry's inability to let go of Diana's memory for their problems. That's the real fracture. Two people carrying different wounds, one haunted by grief, the other craving validation. Friends whisper they barely talk now, and when they do, it's cold, distant. The warmth and us against the world bond has vanished. The word divorce is being whispered, not publicly, but like a dangerous secret, with lawyers' names already floating around. Advisors are preparing, friends taking sides, because if this truly is the end, it may be the biggest royal split since Diana and Charles. A cruel irony. Meghan still believes the backlash was overblown, throwing herself into her rebrand while Hollywood allies keep their distance and brands watch carefully. Harry spends more time away, charity events, friends' estates, lost between loyalty and heartbreak. Defend her and he betrays his mother. Condemn her and he breaks his marriage. Stay silent and risk losing both. For years, he fought to shield her from the world that destroyed Diana. But now even he doesn't know where he stands. And Meghan is learning a harsh truth. You can't borrow someone else's halo without getting burned. That Paris video wasn't just bad PR. It revealed cracks in their marriage, their brand, and their carefully crafted fairy tale. Now the question echoing from Hollywood to Buckingham Palace is simple. Can their love survive Diana's shadow? Or was Paris the moment everything broke?